Hi everyone, today we're going to be doing something a little different. What we wanted to do with this video is show you our most favorite board game with miniatures for 2022. I'm Khan.
I'm Brianna.
And you are watching The Wrath of Minis. One thing you'll notice is that Brie is here on film, on camera. And I'd like to just make a mark about something or mention of, is that Brie is actually the mastermind behind most of the things that we are doing on this channel. If you like our editing, you like how high polished the stuff is, you have her to thank. This channel wouldn't even begin to be a thing if it wasn't for Brie.
Thank you, Con. We have our differences in the kinds of games that we like, and I know that it's kind of your task to find games that we both like, which can be difficult. I mean, we like a lot of the same games, but I have a harder time with some of the straight war games. I know you would love it if I was like, let's play some Kill Team tonight, so it's especially fun to be able to play board games with the minis that you've painted.
If you want to know, Brie is an excellent shit talker, and so that's always fun, actually. Not for me because I'm on the receiving end of that.
It's usually when I'm threatened that it comes. Usually when I'm losing.
With that all being said and done, let's get to it. So it's a ginormous white box, really. Just how I like to put my games in. Actually, the game in question is Aeon Trespass Odyssey. I've just got the top, and you can see this ginormous. It's a bit like a Kingdom Death, but the antithesis in color form. Aeon Trespass Odyssey is a grand, epic, campaign, narrative, boss battling...
amalgamation.
Exactly that. Of a game. It's a game in which you are in Grecian times, where you are Argonauts who can control titans like Evangelion, and you're fighting large, humongous, primordial beings, which that are kind of like decimating and destroying, I don't know, the world, I presume, at this point in time.
Pretty much every session, this culminates in a battle with these monsters or these primordials that are threatening humanity. But in between those battles, there is a very developed storyline that is kind of choose-your-own-adventure-esque, which is something that we've seen in several games in the last couple of years that I was like, wow, I can't believe they found a way to do this with a board game. It's very ambitious, and it hasn't always been pulled off successfully in the games that we've played in the past. But it's always something that I enjoy the effort of, because the story side of things, as you know, is one of the reasons why I love video games today, because the stories are so good. TV and film, obviously, but it's not the most important thing with a board game, because the mechanics of the game have to be good, but when that story element is there as well, it really, really sucks me in.
Aeon Trespass feels like a culmination of different types of games put together. It's definitely got a lot of DNA of Kingdom Death. It feels a bit like Tainted Grail in a certain sense, like you're traveling around and you're revealing new places and new things are kind of happening. You're sort of learning about the story, about mystery that's happening or what's going on. And so you're delving into that, which is a really cool thing. You get to choose which direction you are going in terms of the map and how you're traveling about. And also this game feels different because when you make a decision, it affects the decision tree of what's happening or what I'm able to do. And it's quite cool because you know that your previous decisions are genuinely impacting the decisions that are happening at the moment. This singular book is for Cycle 1, and inside the core box there are 3 cycles, 3 stories effectively taking place with sort of bosses and even bigger, badder bosses and stuff like that. But all this narration being done in the game just for the first third of the game. I mean, and there are 3 of these books, so it's really grand and epic.
Extensive.
Yeah, in its scope of its story, which is just very, very cool.
In that element, you want to know what's happening. There is mystery. You don't even know who you are.
Yeah.
You're kind of waking up from a dream,
yeah,
thrown into these battles.
Yeah.
You're immediately left with a puzzle to figure out what happened to somebody, and you're on this journey. You're uncovering clues as you go on. If you want to know what happens to the story, you have to keep playing. I just trust them based on what we've seen so far. The story is so well written.
Yep.
It's just, it does feel like the decisions are consequential. Yep. The world is really interesting, and the mystery, I want to know what's going to happen. I'm there for it. I'm like, let's play.
Kingdom Death I've heard it called like a lifestyle thing.
Like a lifestyle brand?
Yeah, like a lifestyle game, or like a lifestyle like.
Is it a lifestyle where you hate yourself?
Yeah, pretty much. Where you just suffer all the time, and that's cool to suffer all the time. We
already suffer all the time.
I know why I induce it in games. I still, really love Kingdom Death, but I just feel like this game took the elements of what Kingdom Death was and just lifted it up in such a way that I was like, oh yes, this makes sense to me. The story is great. The setting is cool. Like that's an interesting, because Kingdom Death setting is actually very cool.
It is.
But this was able to. I like Greek times.
Yeah,
I like so it hit home like kind of well for me, and it has all of the same sort of feelings and sentiments to it, but did it in a cleaner, I don't know, slightly better package for me in a weird way. It's also cheaper.
Yeah,
so,
that's the other thing about Kingdom Death. It was quite a commitment up front.
Yes, quite a commitment. I mean, they're not like, you can buy the core game of Aeon Trespass for $300 now. $300, and the core game has got 3 cycles of many hours in it.
I mean, we've played it for 20 hours so far, maybe?
Something like that, easy.
And we are maybe halfway through the first cycle?
No, we're very close to the end.
I see.
Yeah,
well, still, even so, that's a lot of gameplay.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes you, like, I'd be curious to play it. I would play it again, I think.
All of the game fits into the box as well. Even though the box is ginormous, it's the same size as Kingdom Death. It actually can fit all the miniatures, rather where, like the Kingdom Death thing, you need a whole space for those miniatures elsewhere, because they're never going back into the box ever again,
And it's worth noting that for Kingdom Death, you have to assemble them all. So you should cut them from the sprue, do all of that rigmarole. These are already assembled, so they already have a place in the box.
Yeah, which is nice,
You can see their gameplay mechanics. They show them off in the boss battles, which are really compelling and fun. You've built this gear, you've updated these skills and abilities. I feel like I'm bad at dice rolling, and I feel like that makes it so I roll really poorly. But there's options to mitigate it. There's ways that you can play the statistics on things, and
you also get the reroll
improve
ability
your rolls
with
too.
the fate.
Yeah, and you can the reroll ability is great. That it does feel like a real challenge that you can win, and you have agency throughout. And the gameplay itself is so fun. So it does these ambitious things in these games that we've loved, but we've never seen a game pull off all of them simultaneously before Aeon Trespass.
That is right. The more rounds that they're going on, you get stronger. And which kind of in turn means that you're getting stronger every round, which means you're probably doing more damage in a certain sense, and the enemy also gets stronger. So it's like, really is like Clash of the Titans type thing. Like it starts going from like, okay, things are kind of normal and fine, to like, holy, everything's going out the window and it's getting kind of crazy. It's almost that you start a bit quiet, and then you get stronger as time goes on.
So does the enemy.
And so does the enemy, which is a bit like, it's almost like the last heroics in like a big like superhero battle like thing. Like they're battling it out, and then it gets to the climax of it, and then boom, something takes place. And it's the first time I've ever seen it in a board game. Yeah. I've never experienced the likes of it, and where this escalation takes place. So you always feel like you're capable of doing something, even if you're very close to death, which is a really cool way of keeping you, I don't want to say keeping you engaged, because we only play the 2 and there's 4 characters going on, so we are constantly engaged, but you don't feel like, oh, this person has no chance of doing anything, may as well just try and run them off to the edge so they can survive, where they're like, oh no, this person can get in and do something.
Yeah. And there's also several interesting Hail Mary sort of mechanics that right on the verge of death, something really cool can happen, which hasn't happened for us yet. But
one day.
Yes, it's fun, because you're like, even when you're about to die, like, is this going to be something amazing?
Yeah.
Like, it's setting it up for a really incredible experience. The art direction, if you want to show off some of it.
We have a story card here this is the ship that you're going to be on throughout the game, which is pretty cool. We also have the Titan that you're controlling is here. We also have the Hecaton, which is the first tutorial battle or boss battle that you'll get to encounter. Who
has a face made of hands.
And
body made of hands.
That's right.
Weird.
And looks pretty cool as well.
And these are the Argonauts. These are who you're playing as. So it's up to 4 players. If you're playing as an individual, you can play all 4. We play 2 and 2.
Mm-hmm. So I've got a Primaris Space Marine here, just to show you the scale of things. I'm going to show you a more recent Kingdom Death model side by side, so roughly the same sort of size. And if I take that and I take one of the Argonauts, not the Argonauts, one of the Titans, you can see it's slightly smaller than a Primaris Space Marine, you know, of that nature. He's holding part of a ship, though. So I've painted these 4 characters up.
The artwork, as you can see, was very muted for the, muted and monotone kind of. So it's sort of you were following the.
I was going in that direction. Yeah. If we take a look at, you can't really see it, but like near her foot here, there's a tree, and right there is a human being. So you can kind of get a sense about how big she's meant to be. And so here's the first boss. I've just finished painting the Hecaton. And right here are these 3 like cows or something like that. So giving you a sense of scale, like if we take a look at her size versus the Hecaton, you can see how big this creature is. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty like, let's look at all the hands that are on this thing.
Too many hands.
Too many hands. And this is one of the bosses. Here's another boss. This is a bit strange looking. I haven't painted it yet, just Zenithal. And it's like a ball.
But it's not like
But it's not like a ball, yeah, I don't know. And then if we go up one size for the big boss of the game, of the cycle, this thing. Now you can see that this thing fits in both my hands. Just to give you a sense of the scale of this thing. This thing is huge. Here's this Primaris Space Marine again. Boom. Look how big this model is. I mean, it's huge. Absolutely ginormous. Really cool though. I'd be really interested in painting it. And this is one of the 3 big bosses in the game. So there's lots of cool things that are going to be coming our way. So this game became our favorite of the end of 2022. And when we started playing it and we were like, wow, it really wowed us, like quite quickly. Interestingly enough, a game that we were previously playing was a game called Oathsworn. When we started playing Oathsworn, I was like, this is the best campaign game I have played.
Which is pretty,
to date.
Yeah, pretty delightful that we get 2 games that we loved this year. And that game, we still think it's amazing.
Yeah.
We think what they're doing is different than a lot of games. In fact, I would say some of the things that they're doing, maybe it's more innovative in some ways.
Oh, okay.
Some elements of how the gameplay is different between sessions, and the fact that they hired a professional voice actor.
That's huge.
He's so good too. It's so nice. Like,
yeah.
I know that it's fun to like read out the stories. Sometimes you're a little bit tired. Sometimes you're a little bit drunk.
You don't want to be in character.
I know, and it's hard. You don't know exactly what you haven't rehearsed it, so it's not like it's not necessarily great.
Word.
Yeah, exactly. We can't pronounce a lot of the words in Aeon Trespass. But
really
the way that Aeon Trespass combines things that we've seen in other games and does it successfully and stylishly, it makes it a great game for us, and probably a better game for us because we like a lot.
Yeah.
We like it to be a lot. We like developing, getting resources to pick out, how to upgrade our characters and build different pieces of equipment. We don't mind all of the little bits and pieces. Now, Oathsworn's no slouch in that department because there are a lot of elements to the game, but it's a little bit less. Yeah. It's more curated of an experience, especially there's an app that makes it very clear, you're going through it. We love them both.
Yeah, we do.
But this one just edged it out right at the end of the year for us, I would say.
I know. That's crazy. And so we actually have some Oathsworn models that I painted.
Yeah, and the models there are really cool too.
They're great. These are actually like awesome. I love the size of them, and I'm going to show you the scale of them as well. So I'm going to take this barbarian character. Here's the Primaris Space Marine, so you get a sense of scale. And then here is the barbarian that I've painted up. So he's bigger than the Space Marine, and that's great because he just doesn't have to be so fiddly with these tiny little things, which I kind of really dislike. I'm really starting to enjoy larger miniatures. So we go like that. We've got this knight-like dude with a shield and stuff like that.
The Penitent.
The Penitent, which has been kind of cool. We have we got a war bear here, which you guys might have seen on the channel. A like elf. It's not an elf. It's a wood creature bow lady.
I have a question for you.
Yes, of course.
Who would win in a fight, the Ranger or the Primaris Space Marine?
The Ranger or the Primaris Space Marine?
Who would win in a fight?
The Space Marine.
Definitely.
Definitely this. Yeah, it's not even a. If they had somehow coalesced into the real world. Yeah, the Space Marine.
Even though she's that much bigger. I mean, she's also bringing a bow to a gunfight. Yes, to a technology gunfight. But
and he's in like power armor.
Yeah.
And so he's just like.
I had to ask the question.
Okay, sure.
I have to ask the hard-hitting questions. They're stuck in the fantasy realm with like bows and axes, so of course the Space Marine would win. That is the correct answer. Okay. Congratulations.
Oh.
And I will say that we do play competitive games, and that is fun. We have found that it's fun to play these long campaign games where you're working together as well. Mm-hmm. We especially like that element of this, and it's something that both of us are excited to keep playing. Yeah. Keep uncovering the story, which, we found a few games like that in the past, but not like a ton of them. Gloomhaven was amazing. We played it with a group of friends.
That's true.
This is definitely one of those games that if you do play it with a group of friends, or even just with, a significant other, or even just with yourself, you'll be excited to keep playing it. But it's something that will get people together. So we're very excited to keep exploring it and to see what else the studio comes up with. I know they have another Kickstarter going.
Oh, yes. They have a game called Kingdoms Forlorn. It's another big, grand, epic campaign, boss battling game. Mm-hmm. Except now there's minions involved as well. Looks great. From everything that this game has delivered on, or is delivering to us as is, I'm kind of have to go with that game. I have to
I know that's the warning that I got, and I was like, oh, another Kickstarter game is getting kind of expensive. I feel like I trust them now as a studio. We'll see. I mean, it's only the first offering that we've ever played. I don't know if they have anything else. What is the name of the studio?
I think it's Unknown Studio. Into the Unknown Studio.
Into the Unknown Studio. We like what they're doing. We're picking up what they're putting down. Their next game could be a complete flop.
Yeah.
But I feel like for this to be like their first big offering is pretty impressive.
Yeah, definitely. That pretty much sums up our thoughts about Aeon Trespass Odyssey, this grand epic campaign, narrative-driven, boss-battling extravaganza that is just huge. It's just got so much content in it at a reasonable price, I've got to say. $300 is good value for what this game is bringing. The miniatures, they're innovative. They're not the same material as like Game Workshop or Kingdom Death stuff, but it's got the same kind of presence and feeling to it. So I'm really all for it. And it's just an excellent experience up to this point. It's definitely more on the hardcore level, gaming thing. It definitely takes a lot of commitment. You've got to want it. And if you know that you like that kind of thing, then this is an easy position to be like, hyper recommend it. You get this nice flow of story and exploration, then interjected with a hell of a boss battle that comes into play that really requires you to concentrate and put your mind to like how to defeat the thing, defeating it, grabbing the resources, building new stuff out of it, and then going again on your little story exploration thing. And just the ebb and flow of it is just very nice. It's very, very good. So
we are excited to see where this journey takes us.
Yep.
Thank you, 2022.
Yep. Thank you, 2022. Thank
Games?
you. Yeah. Thank everyone for watching.
Thank you guys.
And thank you guys for, helping getting this channel going. We are really growing faster than we had ever really anticipated. And it's up to, so it's to you guys for watching these videos, enjoying them, and, being a part of the community. Some of them, saying really nice and lovely things. And that's really, we take that to heart, and that's really, really wonderful. So we want to come into the new year, hopefully with something more stuff, more gaming. Obviously, there's going to be a whole lot more painting.
We do want to incorporate more kill team playing sessions, but before we do, you wanted to finish. You've got one squad done.
Oh, yeah.
Death Corps,
Krieg, yep. I've got to do some Chaos Space Marines. And then I'll do some terrain painting.
Yeah, and that will be where we start.
Yes.
We'll see where the year takes us. There's going to be lots more games coming, I'm sure. Frosthaven will be here at some point. That's what we're hoping to do.
It's going to be kill teams.
It's going to be kill team, because,
Yeah, battling it out.
Yeah. Prepare to go down.
I know.
In front of the masses. It's
Well,
okay.
we-
No shame in losing.
It's true. It's already started, but that's your best bet because obviously your dice rolls have been awful, as you've
That's
told
one of the
everyone.
reasons I've resisted Warhammer, because it's all dice throws, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm doomed, but we'll see.
You are
We'll
doomed.
see what happens.
All right, excellent.
Maybe the dice gods will favor me in 2023. Who knows?
That's true. Until the next one, which is in 2023, happy holidays, and we'll see you guys later. What are we looking for? I don't know what we're looking for. We're looking
life?
for something, yeah.
Happiness?
Yeah, I guess that's true. As we played lots of different games throughout the year, it's Brooklyn. What do you expect?
Dangerous place.
It's not true.
It is true.
Yes. The double not makes it positive, so that's true. Yeah, see?
Okay.
My verbiage is good most of the time.
It's real good. You got good verbiage. That's why I'm